If there's one thing all modern vehicles have in common, it's that they're covered in exterior plastic trim. You know, classic cars would have chrome bumpers and chrome trim. Modern cars have plastic, rubber, and vinyl exterior trim. It's cheaper, it's lighter, and they can make it fit the design of modern vehicles. However, the downside to plastic trim is that over time, it fades, it discolors, it cracks, and it just has an overall chalky, dull-looking appearance. Now, a lot of us spend a lot of time making sure our paint looks perfect, like I've clearly done on my Mustang. However, the plastic trim, there's a lot of times a big question mark over what to use to clean the plastic trim and how to protect it and even restore it. Now, one thing that happens often when you're waxing your car is the edge of the applicator pad overlaps with your plastic trim, and then you stain the plastic trim, and it has a chalky white waxy residue. And then if you don't remove that properly, what will happen is over time, it actually permanently stains the plastic trim. So I'm going to show you, number one, a way to clean wax residue off plastic trim, because it happens to the best of us. There's no shame. And then I'm going to show you how to protect that plastic trim. So number one, it looks better. And number two, if wax gets on it again in the future, it'll be much easier to remove because you'll have a protective barrier. There's a lot of different products you can use to clean your plastic trim. What you do not want to use are household cleaners that you're going to find underneath your bathroom cabinet. I like to use a dedicated product that is aptly named and designed for removing wax stains from plastic trim, because it's formulated for the unique requirements of this material, and it also breaks down and dissolves the silicone oils, the petroleum, and the waxes and the solvents that are found in your wax products. So take a product like this, and really simple to use. Follow the manufacturer directions. With this one, you simply spray it on the trim, and it comes out as a fine mist. And what I like about this one especially is that it allows me precise, even spray application, so it's not going all over the place. Now, if some does run on the paint, it's not the end of the world. That's a big advantage to using a product that's designed specifically for plastic trim versus using an all-purpose cleaner that you often use to clean up oil stains on your garage floor. So spray it on, let it sit for a couple seconds, take your brush, and just gently agitate it. And I like to use a small brush like this because it allows me to be precise. If you use too large of a brush, what will happen is you'll overlap and you'll scratch your paint. But a brush is definitely recommended, because if you look at this plastic trim through the lens of a microscope, you'll see that it's very porous and that it has lots of pits, pores, and valleys. And what happens is the wax residue, as you're waxing your car and you're wiping like this in a circular motion, the wax becomes impacted into the plastic trim, and it fills all the pores and the valleys and the texture of this material. So a brush with all these thousands of bristles, they each get in there and they extract the wax residue from the surface. So do that, and then take a microfiber towel and wipe off the excess. And a good wax remover will already produce noticeable results, not just cleaning the plastic trim, but making it look better too. Because in addition to removing the plastic residue, or the wax residue from the plastic trim, it also exfoliates the plastic and it removes that top layer of oxidation. Now, the second step is to use a high-quality plastic trim restorer. Now, this is a restoring product. There's dressings on the market that, yes, they make the trim look good. However, as the name implies, they simply dress the surface. And what happens is they don't last that long. So those products, when this vehicle gets wet, they'll run down the side of it. Chances are that's happened to you before. It's infuriating to spend all this time making sure your plastic trim looks great. You invest the time and money to put something on. It looks good, you're happy with it, and then 2 days later after it rains, it's all over the side of your car. So use something that is actually a restorer and not just a protectant or a dressing. So I like to use a ceramic-based protectant, and the reason why is because a ceramic-based protectant like this one, it actually becomes a functional part of the plastic trim. So it doesn't just sit on top of the plastic like a dressing or a protectant would. It actually fills in all the pits, pores, and valleys, and it creates a really hard coating, a super slick shell of protection that restores it. It makes dirt and contamination come right off. So a little bit goes a long way with a product like this. And I like to use a rectangular applicator like this one. This is designed specifically for plastic trim, and it allows precise, even, uniform application. If I were to use a circular applicator pad, what would happen is I'm going like this, and then it's getting all over my paint. And with this product, it's not a big deal if it gets in your paint. However, it's creating more work for yourself. I like to work forward. I don't like to go backwards when I do something. So apply a thin coat, and it really does not take a whole lot. I mean, this one bottle, believe it or not, of a high-quality product like this will last me a lifetime. I mean, I could have 12 cars, and I won't even use half the bottle to restore the trim. So after you apply a thin uniform coat, I like to let it sit up for a second. And I take a microfiber towel, and I wipe off the excess, and boom, it looks phenomenal. It feels good. And a product like this, you'll use it on your plastic trim. If your vehicle has a front lip, the windshield cowl, the mirrors, some vehicles have plastic door handles. It takes care of all of that. So that's how you restore and renew the plastic trim on your vehicle. Next up, I'm going to show you how to make the interior plastic trim look brand new. Stay tuned.